you're watching Overdrive, the latest entrant in the electric two-wheeler space is Bengaluru-based EV startup River. Now, their very first product in the Indian market is called the River Indy, and it promises not only to be of premium build, but also promises a range of 161 kilometers. Rohit will tell you more.
We are back near the Nandi Hills. The last time I rode here, it was the ultraviolet F77, and now I'm here for another EV startup, the River Indy, a very practical electric scooter that is big, spacious, and good-looking in its own way.
It certainly looks quirky and quite unlike anything that we've seen in the EV or the scooter space. But look at the styling, look at the bright colors. You might want to have one.
The cute face feels welcoming. There are foot pegs in the front too to maximize floor storage or to get a different riding posture. And when not in use, they're neatly tucked away. There are crash bars at the front and two floating brackets at the rear that you can tie small items to, use as an additional set of grab handles, or mount River's bespoke storage panniers for some scooter touring. The tail section looks quite smart too. In fact, the River does look unique but doesn't try too hard to look outlandish, and I like that approach.
The fit and finish is surprisingly good for a first-timer. The shuttle lines are consistent, the quality of paint, the stitching, the tactile feel of the switches. It actually feels a notch better than some of the more established players in the market.
The River Indy is a large vehicle that dwarfs the likes of the Ola S1 Pro or the Ather 450. It may look intimidating at first, but get astride and its long length, 140 kg weight, seems to disappear even if you are a rider with a small frame. Getting a comfortable seating posture is easy, and the motorcycle-like clip-on bars are within easy reach and don't mess with the knees of taller riders either. The large seat has a good grip and hides tons of storage space underneath.
My full-face Arai helmet goes in so easily and still leaves so much more room. And as if that wasn't enough, you also get additional 12 liters of space right here behind the apron.
The front compartment can't hold the charging equipment though, but you will need to open this compartment every time you want to open the charging flap, which can get cumbersome. Speaking of charging, the River Indy ships with a 800-watt charger, and charging times for 0 to 100% are between 5 to 6 hours.
The instrumentation is fairly easy to read. I like the layout, it's nice and simple. The switches on the instrumentation, however, they are a bit confusing but shouldn't take too long to get used to. Despite the SUV of scooters tagline for the Indy, the ride quality isn't really plush. That is what you would expect with that kind of a tagline, but it isn't. It is more on the firm side. The jolts or the minor undulations in the road, all of that is felt at the handlebars. You will feel it in your arms and wrists. However, the suspension travel is good enough to take on poor road conditions, deep potholes, etc. The suspension travel is quite good in that sense. The forks aren't through and through, yet they offer excellent front-end feel and stability. And contributing further to that are the 14-inch wheels and the MRF tires, which offer excellent stability and grip around corners.
Think of this to be an electric maxi scooter that will comfortably ferry you from point A to B with enough space for your shopping and spacious seating for two.
Now there are three riding modes: Eco, Ride and Rush. Rush obviously is going to give you all the power that it can. It's going to compromise the range as well. Ride is where you're going to be spending most of the time. Expect about 90 kilometers of real-world riding range is what the company tells us, and I think that should be achievable looking at the kind of onboard estimates that we've got. Now there's the Eco mode as well, which will give you about 50 to 60 kilometers of top speed, which is usually good enough for your city commutes, but overtakes obviously are very dull in the Eco mode.
The scooter doesn't feel as brisk as the Ather 450X, but has an agreeable performance to go with its practical intent. And that is what I like about the River Indy. It doesn't pretend to be the sportiest, fastest, quickest, or the sickest EV in the market. From its design to its performance, it takes an approach of utility and practicality. And after all, that is exactly what a scooter should be. The only thing that remains to be seen is how soon River is able to set up its sales and service network, and whether the pricing of the scooter remains accessible as well. Anything above Rs 1.6 lakh at showroom will send it into dangerous territory. So let's hope the price tag remains as sensible as the rest of the scooter.
With that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through our social media platforms, and you can check out our latest updates on Instagram as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.